Hello, water signs. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Chandler, and this is your intuitive energy reading. With spiritual messages, of course, for the week. If you guys are checking out the spot on my shirt, I actually almost caught myself on fire just now. I was saging the room like crazy after that Sagittarian message, and a little bit of the sage landed on my shirt. I went, ow! Because I literally almost caught on fire. No big deal, but that's what that is. My name is Chandler, you guys. If you're new to my channel, I do post weekly messages. These are spiritual messages in bulk for all water signs. Just a rough 30 minutes for each sign. I will timestamp each sign down below if you'd like to skip ahead. These spiritual messages can carry great lessons, deep or profound insights, and so, of course, this may not resonate with everyone, and please only take what resonates. Leave the rest behind. This may work for you if you have a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, okay? Or if you're a cross-watcher, of course, checking in for a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces love. Feel free to switch up or completely reverse the roles. I may or may not be speaking with you directly during this reading, so please use your discretion. Switch up the characteristic as it applies to your storyline, okay? Here we go. First, starting out with Cancer. Now, Cancer, you are a special one. You are. You're a special one. I feel the need to address a specific Cancer out there. One who is an enlightened being, one who knows not the profound impact they have, but has been an intricate piece of the puzzle. Grand design, if you will. They provide sustenance for a group or community much larger than they may ever know. But I feel that there is some deep and profound spiritual connection here that does interlink us all in some greater way. And it is in that trust that we may succeed at the ultimate goal. And so, on behalf of the community and for the immense appreciation I feel in my heart for this Cancer, I wish to say thank you. And they know who they are. Let's get going, Cancer. Please show me the spiritual messages for Cancer this week. Please show me the spiritual messages for Cancer this week. Please show me the messages for Cancer this week. Oh, Cancer, you've gone a little speechless on me. Don't be so shocked. It's about time you were made aware. Guardian, guard your energy. Cancer, don't be afraid. You are a guardian of the truth. You are a guardian of the light. You are a light bearer, light bringer, and in time, you will be more familiar with an aspect of yourself that I would consider a light warrior. You are a guardian. And although there have been energies surrounding you that may have made you feel uneasy, as I know you are a very sensitive being. You do feel everything. There's no reason to be afraid. Guard your energy simply means that your energy is a truly sacred part of the grander design. That in essence, without this energy, the intricacy of what is playing out would be slightly different, and in essence, in a grander scheme, be totally different. And so it is this intricacy of your precious energy that is very valuable here and now. We also have a 19, which is a 2, which means that you're coming into balance, firstly, not only within yourself, your feminine and masculine energies, as you learn to protect and guard even better, but I'm also getting for you, Cancer, the one I speak to, that you are being initiated into a second awakening. Now, I'm half tempted to say that this is a third for you, but I know better. This is a second awakening, because you've already integrated your light body, you've integrated your shadow body, you've had profound experiences that have enlightened you to the ways of old and the ways of new. And in essence, you're deepening this. This is a deepening, a profound recognition of your abilities here, which have so far remained untapped in some ways. Guardian, guard your energy and visualize positive outcomes. One of the things that I'm getting as well is that this wolf, the symbolism of wolf is typically one of a pack. And so though you may work in an isolated environment, you may have felt like a lone wolf for most of your life, there is a time to come where you find your community and potentially rise to being an alpha of sorts. Not only that, but your guides are showing me a certain song, as I know the wolves are considered the song dogs of nature. And it's in this very essence that you have been emanating, maybe even without your knowing, that has attracted this sort of collective toward you. It is the light that you emanate too. It's, if you will, indulge a sort of artistic point of view, your signature on your canvas. It is personal and completely unique to you, yet it resonates with so many that may go unseen by your eyes. Guardians of the spiritual realm are perceived differently across all cultures and religions. Totem spirits, angels, and other shamanic spirit helpers are assigned to everyone at birth and can be discovered through vision quests, meditations, and deep forms of prayer. In ancient times, the medicinal assistance of hallucinogenic plants were used. Every individual has a guardian or guarding spirit that watches over them during their lifetime. Different stages of life can bring change to those helpers, depending on what lessons or guidance are needed to complete levels of soul growth for the soul's ascension. Guardian spirits are often perceived in animal forms due to the recognition of their personal characteristics and mannerisms. The wolf depicts challenges in personal boundaries and being able to trust others with your emotional vulnerability. Right now, you must guard your energy fiercely Be mindful of how you feel energetically around others. Exhaustion, fatigue, confusion, and clouded judgment is possible now if you allow yourself to be influenced by these energy vampires. Only you decide on a conscious or subconscious level if you wish to interact with these toxic energies. It is possible now to have interactions with police and emergency service personnel, as the guardian is a protector and teacher of spirits, highlighting personal safety and the safety of others. Currently, lunar cycles are influential. Be cautious of the full moon's influence over people and places. Always put your safety first. Avoid taking unnecessary risks. Use careful practice in your holistic, counseling, intuitive, and healing practices as you are absorbing unwanted energy from others and need to clear and ground yourself after each session or experience to minimize mental and physical fatigue. Shadow aspects of this card could be abuse of power, codependency, irresponsibility, and carelessness. Call upon the angel Sealtiel, Sealtiel, for manifestation, humility, and concentration. Affirm, I am clearly guided by my divine guardian. I am protected always. One of the things that I think is very important for you to always remember, Cancer, is that your instincts are way more powerful than you may have given them credit in the past. One of the things that I'm getting for you specifically is to trust your initial instincts. Try not to appease the opinions of others. Try not to be swayed out of fear of judgment or criticism. Stand tall in your power and sing your song. Show me what I need to see for Cancer. Show me what I need to see for Cancer. The moon is always fairly influential for Cancers, as that is your ruling planet. But I feel very specifically that some of you, because of the transitory elements, maybe there's some specific alignment in your life, are experiencing heightened dreams, intuition, spiritual awareness, and it is important that you do not deny these gifts at this time. I would like to say that you are on a vision quest of sorts. And that most of the information you receive and have a knowing of should be kept not secret, because that's a different vibration, isn't it? Holy, sacred. Show me what I need to see for Cancer. The saying comes to mind, know more than you say. You may know more than you say. You may have an inclination, a hunch, an intuition about certain things. It may be to your advantage to play a little coy. This information can't be understood by the collective consciousness in a lot of ways. And I see you're taking that seriously. Both of my decks have been very quiet. I know some of you are watching just like, she's talking to me. Yes, I am. I am talking to you. My dear, I am a Libra, and this is a very important message. Queen of Swords, clarity, vision, direction, to the point, precise. What I think this shows us is that you are clear-minded at this time. Though there will be energies and different cycles that you'll go through where you question if you are completely out of your mind. Am I imagining all of this? You know better. You're not. You have perfect insight and form right now. And you can trust yourself as you wield the sword of truth. Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles. Look at that. The lightest cardinal energy being that of Libra, highest seeking, potentially most ungrounded, right? And being counteracted and in a way balanced by this very masculine energy of the King of Pentacles being the energy of a Taurus. Very grounded, unmovable, unshakable, slow, steady, realistic. Please show me what I need to see for Cancer. This Four of Coins and the Hermit in reverse shows that someone is doing some deep soul searching right now. We have yet another Taurus energy as well as another Earth energy, the Virgoan energy of the major arcana, also a number 9 representing something that hasn't quite come to an end, but it's eating up a little bit of the energy around you. So if you're working on finalizing something in your life, I would say to move slowly and methodically, of course, but maybe a little faster than this. Because what this shows me is not that you're being careful or methodical, but that you don't trust yourself. And that you could even be scared of going a little bit deeper. You could be a little bit paranoid of what you may find. And so you're holding on maybe to what you know. You're happy in your little bubble or your comfort zone, which is all right. Nothing wrong with that. But the Queen of Swords is motioning this forward in a very insightful way as to say, you can trust this. This is a reliable source of truth and information, insight and clarity, somewhat of a visionary. Maybe you've seen 7 years in the future. But again, not all will have the same faith and trust as you. You could be involved with an earth sign, and in this case, what I feel this is more indicative of is finding exactly where this connection lies. Do they harness the kind of energy that you seek? Do they resonate with your soul's song? And sure, this may be a spiritual connection for those who I'm connecting with, where you're wanting something to move forward, and yet out of fear, it's being stagnated. Either fear of yourself or fear of others. Either way, a deeper reflection is needed to pinpoint the exact signature and resonance that you two are creating together. Does that make sense? This could be someone in your family, someone who you've known for a long time, someone who you live with, who feels that they can't move forward at this time, maybe due to finances, maybe due to other obligations, and they are just chalking it up to not now. That's all right. This person knows what has to be done. But for whatever reason, they may be a little nervous. You may be a little nervous. This could be an aspect of you. I don't see any of your own energy coming up. I see Libra, Taurus, and Virgo. Which, if there is a Virgo in sight, they aren't providing much useful information. Useful information, I mean that which is constructive, that which is clear or truthful. Someone who's maybe wanting to avoid past mistakes. With this energy rooted in fear, you could have had an awakening that didn't go so smoothly last time. Typically, when you see a wolf depicted in such a dark way, it could denote a dark night of the soul. That sometimes comes with awakenings. And always with resistance. The Queen of Swords doesn't have resistance. She trusts herself. She trusts her intuition. Talk about resistance. The Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. Now, I know this exposure is terrible, you guys, but it's pretty late here. The Wheel of Fortune is a Sagittarian, Jupiterian card of the major arcana denoting karma, abundance, good fortune, good luck, prosperity, and the big picture. Where we see something, maybe stagnating you, halting your progress, living in falsity or fear is the fact that the simple big picture is maybe eluding you or someone you love. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in such a way that may seem unlucky for this person. But in truth, it's not unluck, it's resistance. We were just talking about that as these cards came up. So what did I say? Dark night of the soul happens when there is resistance. Well, we see the Wheel of Fortune being in reverse. That is a 10, denoting a cycle completion. And yet it hasn't moved forward, which actually means a cycle repeating. And then we have 2 5s, which are very heavy cards, actually. And this is our 3rd Tauran energy that we've seen, as well as the Scorpionic energy of the 5 of Cups, which denotes that this person may feel at a loss. They may feel that they are surrounded potentially in a codependent situation. The pack that they are currently resonating with, if you find this works for you guys now, is not really vibing with them, yet they can't leave, right? It's almost like that energy of the wolf who knows they can be the alpha, but in trying to be the alpha, they risk everything. They risk being kicked out of the pack altogether. It's actually, as we saw the Emperor on the bottom of the deck, it could actually denote a fear of one's truer power or potential. That's kind of what I'm sensing here. So, in essence, there is a codependency because this person is afraid of what they are capable of, what could be the potentials of their life if these things could change and if this wheel gets moving forward. Okay? Maybe they feel they don't deserve what luck you've foreseen, okay, in your future or in theirs. We have 2 5s, which, means that this needs to change. This is a very pulling, attaching, codependent, I need you kind of energy. Though in these current circumstances, it does look cold dismal, drab, heavy, weighted, stuck, crippling. Okay? But in both of these cards, there is a slight energy of not all is lost. As you can see, though they are outside of the church and there's warmth and song coming out from its window, and the glow of the light is reminding of the cold that they're currently in, to say the least. In an odd way, they may feel very fortunate that at least they're not alone in this. And with the Five of Cups, this person is crying and just terribly upset about these 3 cups spilled by the river. And he's watching the water drain back to its origins or absorb in the earth. And yet, he's still got 2 cups behind him. Not all is lost. But this situation does need change. So, what I see then is someone coming through potentially with an offer, with a cup of love, with an apology, at the very least, sincerity. This person is typically very persistent. This person typically has a depth of understanding, a certain wisdom, okay, of their intentions. This person could denote a spiritual guru in the making, someone who actually seeks answers from going into the depths of their emotions, unafraid of expressing how they may feel. This person, I think, also is very accepting, as water tends to be the energy of reciprocity. As you can see, he's holding out this cup, saying, I give to you what I know, what I feel, what I understand, what means something to me. And in essence, they remain open to receiving what you may give back, unafraid and potentially slightly vulnerable. So, although I see some of you being in this guard your energy type of energy, there are dynamics within your immediate environment, potentially in your soul group or tribe, that are shifting. They are changing. You're realizing some of the things you thought you knew, or the people you've known for so long, are out for themselves. Or, in essence, you could just be singing a different song and finding you're not resonating with the people around you anymore. Like I said in the beginning, I feel that for at least one of you out there that I'm connecting with, this is a deep, spiritual, second awakening. And you are currently going through an initiation by learning to trust your instincts, singing a different tune that is actually in harmony with your own heart, is not afraid of your own power. And it's only a matter of time before you become the light warrior that you have always been. So as we said, don't be afraid to go deeper into this issue. Don't be afraid to move forward. That's silly. Things have to change. And the only resistance or hardship you may find is fighting the change. Once you decide to move forward with this spiritual calling, it's going to become much more simple. You're going to feel more purposeful, deeper, more sincere. You're going to have deeper connections. There's going to be a longing of information. There's going to be a wonderment of how far you can go. Don't be afraid to push yourself so that you can grow into the power you know you have within. Thank you, Cancer. Who's next? Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning in. This is your intuitive reading for the spiritual messages for the week. Let me just settle into your energy. Scorpio, you could feel like you're on a little bit of a roller coaster this week. As I'm settling into your energy, I do feel highs and lows. Things are changing. Things have changed. Okay, this is very interesting. We have two cards out here. The first one to come out was a number 10. Cosmic ancestors, voice your concerns. It seems like you may have had a bit of a rut lately with being in touch with your emotions, being able to voice your truer feelings. You may have been playing tough guy in a way. You know, I sense that you've been appearing very strong, which is very scorpionic in nature, but on the inside, you may be full of fire and rage and regret, remorse, anger. Yet, there is this trusting, isn't there, Scorp? As you look up at the sky and you think, this is all happening for a very divine reason. And so with those emotions, you're actually fighting yourself in that knowing. Because as this yellow and red represent to me ego and fire and frustration, it is truly just that, isn't it? Your ego, your desires, the inflamed idea that you should have what you want and that will make you happy. Sometimes we tell ourselves this lie, especially as the 10 comes up to denote that something has come to an end. It is a completion. You've completed it. Congratulations. Now it's leaving your life. And there's a gateway open. There's a vortex open for you. And your ancestors are saying, come, trust. Do not doubt us. Do not give in to the fear. Do not give in to the desires of old. Those no longer serve you. And they certainly won't serve where you're going. But it's important that you voice your concerns not to others, because I don't feel that that's a very scorpionic trait to just gallivant around expressing your deepest fears and worries and concerns and expecting others to have an answer for you. It's not going to work that way, and I think you know that. But your ancestors, the people that aren't simply in front of your face or around you or in the line of sight, they are here, they are present, and I can feel them in this energy. You have a galactic heritage, potentially. And at the very least, somebody from your lineage, could be a grandmother or grandfather, is coming to your aid. Because there are changes in your life. There's big news in your life. And there's an even bigger plan for your life. And like this vortex would denote, you're going to be sucked into it eventually. So my advice would be, though it's important to voice your concerns, ask important questions to the universe and remain open to receiving its guidance. don't fight it. Don't fight it. And then we have this baby. This is a number 8, and it says channel your knowledge, critical judgment. Now, this card is controversial because, as it seems, there's a bit of a warped mentality that we initially want to perceive from this card, isn't there? Someone who initially you thought was evil, who wanted to get at you, a persuasive force, someone implanting ideas into your head and prompting decisions that you may deemed as unwarranted or negative to begin with, require your critical judgment at this time. Because as you can see, when you look further into this card, it seems that what this person is doing is holding a paintbrush or a marker, and what they're doing is channeling this onto a canvas. What could also be considered from this card is that these eyes are potentially your very ancestors, the collective guardians that may not look like you. They may not have the same ideas as you. They may not be human in form. But they are helping you understand something at a deeper level. And so it is critical that you listen and you apply the knowledge they're giving you now. One day you may monetize this. One day you may be very successful at what you do. If you follow the guidance, though it may be difficult to understand, slightly obscure, and potentially even perceived as something negative. This is where critical judgment does come in. Because as I see it, a karmic cycle has just ended for you. But, just to reiterate, if you remain open, there may be a piece of information that is critical to you now, that long term will make all the difference. It is fortunate. It is your time. It is important to use a strong discernment over what you deem as negative, what you have deemed as evil, what you may desire now, and what you may be open to experiencing later. My advice would be to not finalize your life's work, to not judge yourself too harshly, to not criticize your process, if that applies, but to simply remain open. There's this theme of just remaining open. Just remaining open, because there has been some divine intervention in your life. And it's so that you can let go of the old and begin a new blissful beginning in a way that you haven't experienced or maybe even considered before. It seems a little out of this world. It seems a little outlandish, but it's important. I'm going to read the number 8 because I know that that is a very controversial figure. It can definitely make you feel a little uneasy when looking at it. Some of you could also be diving into the astral realms, which then I would suggest to actually be very critical of the information you come by. as not all of it will benefit you. Clear expectations and critical judgment. Automatic writing is a safe and powerful process of channeling spirit directly into writing. Like any sense or intuitive skill, it can be sharpened and improved with time and practice. More importantly, anyone can learn this skill. Without the active conscious self, the mind becomes free to instruct and navigate the individual. Automatic writing enables the channel to access higher states of consciousness and awareness. Invocation and creation is a byproduct of channeling in this way. Leonardo da Vinci, I have such a crush on him, Isaac Newton, and Albert Einstein were consistently inspired by the form of thought from pen to paper. If you are just beginning to open yourself to intuitive and spiritual communication, automatic writing can act as a bridge to strengthen your mind and intuitive channel. Before undertaking such a skill, you are encouraged to keep a clear and sacred space free of lower thought forms and energies that may cling or seek to enter an open channel door. Seek a suitable teacher. Currently, soul guidance is required. You are being asked to connect to a higher wisdom of your soul, removing ego-based barriers such as expectations, internal ridicule, fear, and control are necessary for clarity and peace of mind. Feelings of being physically, mentally, or energetically blocked or stuck in areas of your life, such as employment and relationships, requires action, but you must be ready to let go of your expectations. Creating a peaceful environment to free your mind is essential now. Allowing your pen or pencil to wander on a sketch pad, forming doodles or symbols, or painting or musical creation will assist in writing issues such as writer's block. I once said in a Scorpio reading, I think it was even last week, very recent, that pain and anguish makes some of the most inspiring, deep, poetic, and talented artists the world has ever seen. With relaxed breath, let your thoughts inspire you to create or record new information as your inner thoughts and spiritual messages are conveyed to you to record in written word. Working with high vibrations or elevated energy levels will improve this communication and length of spiritual discussion. The shadow aspects of this card are ignoring your own advice, inability to be objective. Call upon the guardian angel Harahel for educational success, writing, and productivity. And affirm to yourself, my mind is open. I receive my soul's guidance loud and clear. My mind is open. I receive my soul's guidance loud and clear. Maybe you do have goals. I wanted to say goals. It is a goal, apparently, here. One of the things that I'm picking up as well is that roller coaster energy. It definitely will be a week to remain very centered and calm, to not do anything that you may feel is a risk, okay? Your ancestors need time. Your ancestors need time for you to develop the skills to understand and interpret their messages. I almost just filed these backwards. So, needless to say, Scorpio, this is a very strong message for you. I do feel that you will be monetizing your art, your skills, your words. You will have poetic justice one day. But you have to listen. And you may hate me for saying that. You may hate me and you may say, I just want what I want. But I've said it and I'll say it again. Scorpio, you're going to thank me. Because although I am a little crazy, I know what I'm talking about. Please show me what I need to see for Scorpio. Please show me what I need to see for Scorpio. The Emperor. Interesting. So I could be dealing with a masculine who's newly become aware of their spiritual mission. The Emperor is typically one who knows themselves, who is strong, competent, a bit of a visionary, very stable. This is an Aries energy, that of the Ram. One who is creative, inventive, and knows how to construct things. And it's very important that you know this at this time for whoever I'm talking with, because this is a newly formed Emperor. This is an Emperor who knows thyself even better now that this cycle is complete. But we do have the Queen of Cups in reverse, which I don't typically take the Queen of Cups in reverse, but this is the energy it's giving me. This is the cycle that has completed. There have been several spiritual lessons within this cycle that you both needed to learn. I know, Scorp. I know. The Emperor is the divine masculine in a spiritual union. One who does not need to have control. One who is sturdy and confident. And is equipped, as you can see in this picture, with armor underneath his sort of getup he's got going on. Always ready for battle. But doesn't show aggression unless they have to. There have been deceit, deceitful actions, flat out lies, hidden intentions, camouflaged faces, a pathway that is unclear in this previous cycle. And I think you really want to leave it because of this. Justice beneath that. You feel that this was unfair. But I feel that it may take two to tango. And in this previous cycle, Scorp, I will say, I can tell it was very hard on you. And these are the motions of the week that you're going to be feeling. Because we have cosmic ancestors, you don't have a choice to go back because now you know too much. Now the truth is out. You know, whoever lied first, whoever did the worst deed, it may not even matter anymore. But what I can assure you, because of what I feel and what I've seen, is that in this next cycle, it's going to be a very different process for the both of you. These kind of things, they're just, even if the two of you go in completely separate directions, neither of you are going to look back at this situation as you do now over time. You're going to see exactly why this happened, in other words. The lessons. It's all about the lessons. Karmic, number 8, karma. For whatever reason, you may not trust me You can trust your ancestors that you had to go through each of these stages to get here and know what you deserve. The Queen of Cups. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. But what I see here is a dynamic I don't like. The Emperor and the Queen of Cups with a lot of this shit going on in between. With fire and water, it seems like the two shall not truly mix, right? Let's go into this. The Queen of Cups is going through what I feel is a sort of spiritual integration, channeling your knowledge, channeling your spiritual insights, so that one day you will become a wealth of information. It seems as though you may have love coming to you sooner than you think. And that it won't be the same story as the last. Please clarify the Emperor. All right, we've got a true pair. Okay, do you understand? You get my drift, Scorp? The High Priestess and the Emperor. These are both very important figures in the archetypal energy of the tarot. Now, the High Priestess denotes absorbing, receiving, receptive energy. The Emperor is clearly the giving, the direct, the aggressor energy, which would denote a certain balance, which would infer something maybe behind the Emperor that is not visible or can't be seen, okay? The High Priestess is also a very spiritual keeper of knowledge and secrets. She is the gateway between the living and the dead. She resides within the temple of knowledge and wisdom and truth. She grants spiritual insight in the way of teachings. And so I believe the Emperor has learned a great lesson from this previous cycle, as you may as well. This would indicate truth being told, or the truth not being so easily discovered by those who are outside of this connection. Please clarify the Emperor. Please clarify the Emperor. Please clarify the Emperor. This is a power couple. This is a power couple in the making, if not currently. The High Priestess isn't talking, okay? The High Priestess is not sharing the knowledge, which I think is only right, as this cycle is potentially becoming more and more sacred to you as you become more and more independent of the past. Okay, so let's look at the Queen of Cups. You know, this is exactly what I kind of feel from this roller coaster of energy this week. I think what insights you're getting here, Scorpio, are true and very valuable to you here now. We have the Six of Swords, which is knowing something, having the truth, everything you need, and enough validation or closure to move forward from chaos and insecurity to calm and peaceful waters. Taking your assets, taking the things that you love and what you need, and just simply leaving a situation. Moving forward, moving on is truly what this card denotes. Moving on with clarity and in search of peace of mind. Again, we have your energy. Okay, we have your energy of just a spiritual knowing, okay, that this chapter is coming to a close, though the emotions within it, may take a week or two to sort of dissolve and really finalize. The Five of Wands is a little concerning because there is a combative or competitive energy here, as I do feel someone feels that there's been injustice some way or in some form. It's hard to say who did what. It's hard to say who's competing against who. Because in truth, I don't feel that anything here is actually worth competing over. If I was in your case, I would simply say no one wins in this situation, and why would you exert all this energy? You could be involved with people who are like this, people who are persuading you to think in this competitive way, but be very careful, as this energy is always a losing game. And I think finally you realize this. We have a lot of Aries energy coming up, denoting expansion, movement forward, action being taken, but also a choice being made. That has to be true to yourself. As this spiritual gateway, as you're channeling your knowledge, channeling your energy into more constructive or positive ways for yourself. Remember, the wands denoting independence, literally getting away from the chaos so that you can find your serenity and be peaceful and harmonious within yourself. No longer being in this shadowy, revengeful energy that can come up with a scorpionic cycle is this chance, is this opportunity to see what else is out there. Taste the flavors, go out and be a little crazy, or test your skill sets in ways that really show you who you are. You know, as we have the 3 and 2, it could feel initially like you're leaving something or taking a digressive movement forward. But I think what actually you're doing, Scorp, is just simplifying. You're just simplifying your life. You're taking yourself out of the dramatic equation. And you're realizing that there's much more for you to do here. There seems to be a much more significant lesson or path for you to travel. But in so doing, and in this discovery of what your truer destiny is, you have to be a little bit brave. You have to be really frank and potentially brutally honest with yourself about where your fears really stem from. It's important for you to express yourself in very creative ways, as we have a lot of wands coming up. And you're going to be coming up on a lot of spiritual energy, a lot of really insightful, meaningful, emotional energy that can really help fuel this creative endeavor. But you do have to be brave, as with this 2 of Wands, you can't move forward without completely leaving another option, without completely closing a door to the past. But as I see it, you have your back turned to this already. So that may be the hardest part, is just being completely frank and honest with yourself about what actually is worth your energy and what isn't. Overall energy, we have the 5 of Coins. What I feel you could be doing is considering going back. Maybe keeping secrets, maybe trying to hash out the lies or the past, But eventually, these type of situations tend to become toxic on their own as insecurities flare up, trust issues are never resolved. Whatever this situation is, it seems to be a big crack in the foundation. But what I would like to say is that this is a really good lesson, as I don't think you'll find yourself in the same position maybe ever again. This is the Taurus energy of being stuck, stubborn and isolated from the rest of the world, not feeling like you can lean on anyone, not having support, not having abundance, feeling left out in the cold, and truly needing change. So there is a choice here. And you're going to have to perceive your options with critical judgment. Are you intuiting the information in an egoic way? Is something prompting you to go back, get even, make a point, get revenge? Or could you channel this situation, these circumstances, or your feelings in a much more poetic way, in a much more insightful way? Because let's just face it, Scorp, you're the one for the job, if that's the case. Thank you, Scorp. I'm going to sage, hopefully not burn myself again. That's just crazy. Pisces. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. All right, Pisces, how are you doing? Let's get some spiritual messages for my dear Pisces. Please show me a spiritual message for Pisces. Please show me a spiritual message for Pisces. Pisces, I'm getting this feeling like it's really important that you challenge yourself right now. Spirit messages, 34, observe limitations. This is a hummingbird, and it denotes joy, prosperity, happiness. But an interesting thing that the hummingbird does is move forward, of course, but it also moves backwards, which is an interesting thing for bird because birds typically don't do that. Not by choice. But with the hummingbird, as it moves backward, it reminds us that sometimes it's important to start from scratch. Sometimes it's important to go back and start over. Sometimes it's important to withdraw and find a new direction. Though I feel like you are finding a new direction because it is a number 7. But more importantly, to observe your limitations. to know where you might need to really be clear and critical with yourself, to know where you might be cutting yourself short, maybe too reliant upon other people, maybe even flaunting a little bit to make others jealous. These represent limitations within ourselves where we feel inadequate, where we feel our efforts are cut short, where we feel a lack of validation from others and we take it personally. Where in your life can you really observe your own limitations, your own triggers, and areas where you lack confidence? Oh, let's read out of the book. My guides are reminding me. Let's read out of the book. Observe limitations. Reflect and adapt to your surroundings. The beautiful hovering hummingbird is a positive animal totem. Its simplicity and seemingly effortless glide across flower gardens reminds us to take things slowly. Often believed to float between realms, hummingbirds are light bringers. Their healing hum encourages you to open your heart to receive love in your life. The hummingbird can travel large distances despite its small size and has the ability to fly backwards, reminding us that no matter where we are in life, we can always take a few steps back and try again. Being willing to step back and see things differently in order to take in the sweetness of life is all a part of the hummingbird's blessings. The hovering wings of the hummingbird move in an infinite loop, the figure 8 pattern, the symbol defined as an unending sequence. This powerful symbol represents endlessness, the infinite life of the spirit. Right now, you have spirit guiding you. There are many messages around you that are waiting to be acknowledged. Pay attention to the specific encounters, as these special meanings will bring confirmation from the spirit realm. The beautiful hum of the hummingbird inspires magic and joy to those that witness these joyful encounters. If you witness the flight of the hummingbird, know that luck and positivity is on its way. The shadow aspect of this card could be creating complications, over-analyzing, and self-sabotage. Archangel Phanuel can assist you with hope, eternal wisdom, and heavenly guidance. Affirm that I am ready to receive confirmation from my spiritual team now. There's a strong feeling of inadequacy coming from that card, you guys. And as I call it as I see it. I do feel like some of you need to challenge yourselves. I think some of you need to figure out where you've maybe cut yourself short, been reliant upon others, maybe even lived in a little bit of a fantasy world. Needing to ground this energy is really important. That's what I was going to say when it came out. There's an essence of a Pisces that I'm connecting with that is just living in la la land. And this isn't a cruel message, Pisces. I know that you could be overly sensitive right now, as you do seem to be going through a transitory energy of removing blockages and becoming more self-reliant. But it does hit home, and I know you can recognize that. That for whatever reason, the situation that you were previously in was a little fantastical. It was a little imaginary. It was a little naive. Spirit is guiding you forward in a very persistent way. Not only through your work and where you put your energy potentially to support yourself and make your own money, but Spirit also wishes to guide you emotionally, as I feel there could be a little bit of a showmanship. Maybe to make someone jealous. Maybe to intimidate someone. Maybe to You know, I'm almost sensing this like, you know, in the animal kingdom, when a bird spreads its wings and it does this weird dance, it can be considered a threat to enemies, you know, as it looks like the eyes of the owl or whatever. It's a bit of a dance that you're doing. Let's see what Pisces is up to this week. Queen of Wands and the Six of Coins. So, like I said, you guys, this error in your past or decisions or the people that you've been involved with, I think you've realized and known for a long time this has not been your best interest. This has been maybe something of a risky move even, you know, because the Queen of Wands is a really harsh queen. The Queen of Wands can be really nasty, but she kind of pokes someone because she's really invested and concerned about always improving, always being better, always refining, you know, being on the leading edge, a leader of so to speak, right? This could be the person you're involved with. And for whatever reason, I feel that this energy, the Tauran energy of the Six of Pentacles, is something of a shortcoming, right? It's a shortcoming. It's something that you feel is unfair, uneven. There could be some codependency where you might have been reliant on someone for money, and you know, this is putting in perspective your own faults, insecurities, tactlessness, fantastical sort of imaginary, ungrounded energies where, you know, the observe the limitations card is kind of saying, let's take a really harsh look at our own ego and what we think we're just entitled to. The King of Swords and the Eight of Cups. This is a truth bomb, and it's coming in a slightly harsh way, as if to say, get moving, Pisces. Get moving. Get to the point. Let's get clear here. There's no more for you here to observe, to gain, to understand, to try for. There's no more resources where you stand. And the King of Swords is a swift kick in the butt to say, get your butt in gear. Get moving. Because this energy is cutting. It could be a little ruthless. Potentially perceived as cruel, but what the King of Swords knows is something further than most people are able to perceive. And in so doing, there could be a great favor being thrust upon you by the universe. You could be dealing with a fire sign or an air sign, an earth sign or a water sign. We're all here, right? This is a message to move along. Get going on your path. Because whenever you leave the Eight of Cups, you always land in the Ten of Cups energy. But most people find it extremely difficult to leave the Eight of Cups because it is so comfortable. It's so comforting. And if you were currently involved with someone maybe who did make you very comfortable, you know, who you may have been involved with for a while or whatever, it just seems like you've had this ongoing mentality of, okay, well, if they're not going to do that for me, then they will do that for me. And this King of Swords, maybe a new person that you meet, they're going to say, I'm not doing that for you. And so, this trigger of your own limitations may be persuading you to do that for you. To get grounded, to get real. Because I think you're learning a lesson that you can't really depend on anyone, can ya? The Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck highlights that it is going to be uncomfortable. Maybe you will experience a little bit of heartache, but that you realize that this situation's not going to turn out in the way that you would like it to, especially if it only provides you comfort. I don't really see any sustenance. Like, not really. It doesn't provoke your spiritual growth. It doesn't push you to be better. It antagonizes insecurities, jealousy, envy. You know, it's almost like this Queen of Wands is, you know, pursing her lips across the room, trying to make someone jealous, as if to say, I just want to get even. I don't really want you. I just want you to want me. And that's a limitation, because that's an ego-based desire that's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve them. It's toxic. Overall energy for Pisces, please. Knight of Cups in reverse. I'm getting insincerity, gluttony, drinking, showing off, distracting yourself not to feel. When you do leave, you may be acting as the King of Swords, like, I got this. I got this. I'm just going to do what I do best and move on. It's all right to have an attitude, Pisces. I kind of like it. Have an attitude if it makes you feel more confident, but don't do it in spite of another person. This makes me feel like it's unhealthy the way you're doing it. It's a little bit showy. It's a little bit egotistical and undeserved. Now, remember, cross-watchers out there, I'm just the messenger. Feel free to switch up or reverse this reading entirely. You could be involved with someone who is doing this, pursing their lips across the room and flirting with other people as they have a drink in their hand, and just doing it for show. Yeah. Pisces, okay, if this is you or the person that you're with, I really feel sorry for this situation, because it is so not balanced, congruent, healthy, even, harmonious, understandable. There's just, the Page of Wands is a very naive and childish game. It's very naive and childish. It's someone who is, you know, kind of showy and very in and out and wants to, like, you know, play the game and, like, act like they're all hot stuff. Where Temperance is like overindulgence, not being willing to heal or see things clearly, definitely not heeding the spirit messages, and acting as a sort of catalyst of negative emotions, really harnessing, attaching, pulling, obsessive, kind of like, I don't want you, I just want you to want me kind of energy, which is really toxic at the end of the day. And then we have the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands, which you're not going to get the attention you want from this king. We've got Taurus and Aries coming through very strongly with a lot of fire, as if to say, F this, F you, F them. These are two fiery, you know, I don't want to say fiery energies, but I feel like with all this fire coming through, you could actually feel extremely competitive because of your own limitations or what the ego wishes you to wants you to desire from this. When really it's not going to serve you in the long run. Your ego is just saying, I need this to feel validated, kind of thing. So with all of this fire, what the universe would like you to do is creatively channel this into a very constructive way of bettering yourself and improving your life and getting out there, starting a new entrepreneurial endeavor. Or, this is the kind of fix-it angel that wants you to stop drinking so much or going out so much or living in a fantasy and get really grounded and be more consistent. But because maybe you're not ready for this and you're observing all of, you may not even be observing your limitations, or this person may not be observing their limitations. They don't want to see what they really should be doing. And so there's going to be an element of combativeness and competition, which in this energy, it's going to be bad, because the King of Pentacles sees right through this energy. The King of Wands is a very showy, egotistical person, kind of putting on a show for the crowd, emphasizing their power, really flaunting, their skill sets, or, acting as an enticing energy, trying to almost persuade this security blanket back into this dynamic, when actually it's not a very healthy dynamic in the first place, because this person is showing up straight up as a toxic male, as a toxic man who wants to assert themselves and be very aggressive and demanding, but is also highly insecure, unstable, irrational, and undeserving. So the King of Pentacles is ungrounded, may feed into this slightly, may be drawn into feeling bad for the showman, or feeling as if they have an obligation here. But in reality, I don't think that's going to work for very long, because what it seems to be is a very toxic situation that neither of you can really agree upon. And so the security blanket isn't going to reinforce the assertiveness of the King of Wands. That would be a bad investment. Let's just put it that way. It would be a bad investment. So Pisces, I really see you needing to move forward. Okay, like not today but yesterday kind of energy, because what this has been for you is an extremely unopportune kind of fortune that you're reaping right now with this situation, because I think you've just gone about it ignoring the big red flags. Okay, inadequacy, codependence, comfort zone, reliance, even potentially financially, potentially egoically. So it's really important now that you really do listen and observe your limitations and ask yourself why you put limitations upon yourself like this, why you settle for situations like this. Maybe this is a reoccurring situation with you or your love. And having the better judgment to leave it, to seek yourself in ways that are constructive, not for the show or envy of others, but to become grounded and get out of the fantastical illusion that you're going to be able to rely upon someone forever to do the things that you actually need to do for yourself. Overall energy, we have the Knight of Pentacles, moving forward in a very humble way. Moving forward with a smaller amount of sustenance or stability, and yet knowing that the work you put in here and now toward your business, or toward making money, or toward getting grounded and being real with yourself and budgeting and getting your finances in order is a true self-reliance and a long-term progression, though it may be very slow and it may be very humble. Thank you so much, Pisces. Thank you so much, Scorpio. And thank you so much, Cancer. I love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.